Nowadays, you can get close to your parent by video conferencing from the comfort of your home using a smartphone. Technology is simply amazing. Let me tell you that.
Now you embrace this technology all you want. We are not saying it is not bringing good things. Sure, we have the food, easy communication, and all this good stuff. But what about the wrong? We're not minding this simply because it's not our closest friends, our relatives, the people we care most about who are being hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Great Debaters Contest, the Connect edition, where we bring you an audience perspective from veteran debaters from the yesteryears. I am Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. And in a world where it seems we're always on our phones or some other technological device, today we're asking whether technological advancements really do benefit humanity. And we had Aquinas High School going versus Ngara Girls in this debate. I'll have the panel introduce themselves first before they give us their opinions on how the debate went down.
My name is Ron Simiu, former student of Moifosis Academy, current student of Kenyatta University. A fun fact about me, I like to play pranks on people.
Now, my name is Chris Borujirma. I'm an alumni of Nyeri High School, current students of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. I'm doing geomatic engineering.
Wow, all right. Now, the ladies.
I'm Claire Mushiri, former student State House Girls, currently at Kenyatta University doing environmental science.
I am Effie Lois Akinyi, former student of St. George's Girls High School, student at Daystate University taking international relations.
Okay, very well. Now you know our resident panel, if we can call it that. And I may ask, I'll throw the question to the floor, is Aquinas' argument was that technological advancement, we should actually support technological advancement despite the ills or the issues that may arise from it. We should actually strive to ensure that we actually advance technologically, and that the problem is not technology per se, but the humans that handle technology. What's your take on that?
I do believe the guy is right. The advantages of technology far much outweigh the disadvantages. Imagine life without the jet engine, for example. We wouldn't be able to travel across the continents quickly. Or the mobile phone. The problem is the humans, the users. And any tool which is presented to humans can be used either negatively or positively. So we shouldn't blame the technology.
I think technology is to blame for part of this, because if I didn't give you a gun, would you learn how to shoot? No.
Wow. Okay.
So technology is here, and it gave us a leeway to explore and to be creative. And this gave us the chance to even venture into the ills that it causes. So I do think technology is responsible.
Wow. And what about, look at it this way. Ngara Girls, the opposers, were of the opinion that we should value human life and our society more as opposed to technological advancement. What's your opinion on that?
I personally think that we should actually value our lives, because Claire said, if you didn't give me a gun, I wouldn't know how to shoot, but I have a knife. I will learn how to stab you. That's another way of taking away the life. So I personally think that life is more important. Humans are more important other than technology. Humans have been there before technology, and we should strive to outdo technology and love ourselves more.
Very well.
But at what point, when Ngara Girls say, let's value our lives, but we've gotten to a point where it's almost impossible to function without technology. So even if they said that we need to take a step back, how much? Do we let go of everything? Do we live like the Stone Age, or what approach do we take, Chris?
Well, personally, I think that on the technological aspect, there are two sides of the coin. There's definitely the head side and the tail side. And a technology with the human life, there's the advantageous side and the disadvantages, as Ron has said. So if it comes to looking at technology in a way it's going to disadvantage humans, it's better to sit down and analyze from an aspect of a scientific view and see which part should we do away with technology and which part should we embrace, such that it can be able to help us and make us a better people.
Technology has given people so much autonomy that it becomes difficult for you to try and even control what they do with this technology. So we've come to a point where I don't think we can even control what people do, because they have the power, they have the technology, and they can use it to whatever they wish, and you can't even control that. So we're way past that point. We need to think of something else.
Let's look at this. Even before technological advancement, Cain killed Abel. So people have always done evil, with or without technology. And let's look at the medicine sector.
Yeah.
Without much of that technology, the death rates will have been high. The more the technology has advanced, the more diseases have been managed better, the better the healthcare system has gotten, and the lower the death rates have fallen. They have gone really, really low. So technology, really, the advantages, they far outweigh the disadvantages.
Okay. Ngara Girls also alluded to the lack of interpersonal skills these days. Back in the day, if you sat next to a stranger in the matatu, you guys would talk maybe. You make a new friend and you go home. Nowadays, you'll just be on your phone the whole time. We tend to communicate. You're friendlier with the person inside your phone or inside the television than you are with the person sitting right next to you. And so do you think they're right about that? Or do you think relationships are just changing? It's not necessarily that we're losing our relationships. They're just evolving to texting and calling.
So technology is actually bringing our relationships to the 21st century by making them less personal?
I don't know. That's what I want them to tell me.
Well, basically, just like what Chris said, we can't blame technology. It depends with an individual. And also, as Claire said, it's so hard to control people. You should take it like it is up to you. You're the one who controls it. You don't have to depend on people to change the mentality you have about technology. It's all about you. We know that it has more pros as compared to the cons. So you have to be like, if it brings more negativity in your life, you try and control it. Don't depend on people to want you to make a control out of it.
But then, people are influenced by their peers. And most people of our age group, we're mostly on our phones and on social media and stuff like that. So it doesn't really solve anything by telling me to think as myself, because I will want to go to my friend and she has her phone. I won't grab it off her and tell her to talk to me. It doesn't really help. And I don't think the pros outweigh the cons, because the technology has greatly affected our environment. Our environment is our life. And if you take all these pros and check the fact that it is actually eating into the Earth's sustainability on its own, I think it's killing us slowly as we are trying to go forward. And the Earth, which is biological, is dying out because of the effects of this very technology that we are trying to uphold and think of it as a way of development, but it's killing us slowly, actually very fast.
I was burning when she was saying, literally burning on my seat. She's saying she gets controlled by the peer. You are not your friends. Your friends are not me. So I don't see why you should see your friend with a phone and be like, I need to get that phone, and be like her. It all depends with you. If your friend decides to get a phone, a prettier phone, and show it off, that's her. If you decide to dress the way you dress, that's you. Because we are influenced by what other people do. And that is really what is bringing us down. You get the perspective.
That is that you're trying to say, that negative peer pressure is bringing about
bad use of
is detrimental to actually humanity.
Yes.
Okay.
And to go back on a point on the environment, I totally disagree with her. Wow. Human population is what is bringing about environmental degradation, and technology has really helped curb that. For example,
has helped curb human overpopulation.
No, environmental degradation and overpopulation too. You even added to my point. And overpopulation too. Humans settle and deforestate to get farming land. Until now, that's what people do. And technology has brought about many methods that will enable this soilless farming You don't need to cut down trees. You can build a factory and produce food in there. There's so many other ways. Like in exploration of iron, before some technological advancements, it was like expensive. It was really resource. It needed a lot of resources, to be honest, and technology has helped a lot to curb those problems.
However, those factories where you're growing these crops, they are powered by either diesel or fuel, which goes back into the air. Have you ever tried to observe Nairobi from, let's say, Naivasha or any other point outside the city? It looks like there's a big cloud of smoke on it. Those are gases. That is the extent of pollution, that it's so visible you can actually see the gases. That is what technology and industries and this cheaper and faster methods of exploitation have done to us. That is the cost we're paying.
But someone could argue very easily, Claire, that, you know what, technology is also the reason we have biogas, we have renewable fuels, we have organizations like Tesla trying to make environmentally friendly cars. So isn't it like Boru said, a two-sided coin? As much as on one end I want to make a factory that uses diesel, it's also some guy's technological advancement that will enable me to maybe move from fossil fuels to something more renewable.
But at what expense? We're trying to make more renewable energy, but at what expense? Because at the end of the day, we'll still have to expend energy to make it more renewable. And how do we sustain it when it's renewable? Fine, it'll be renewable, it'll be self-sustaining. But on our way there, what would we have destroyed? I think that's where you're arguing from?
Yes.
Chris?
Ron,
One thing we have to understand is that change is inevitable.
Yeah.
And every single day when you make one step forward, so many things change. Technology, life, health, social status, so many things change. And we have to accept that we are growing to a different society, we're growing to a different nation, so many things are growing and we're going to expound. But one thing you have to also understand is that at the same time as we are changing and as we are evolving technologically and everything around us is also changing, like the way and the environment, as the way the technology is getting more advanced, the environment might be getting more degraded. At the same time, we have to understand one fact, that there's the same people who are working on it such that they may be able to sustain that cycle, such that they will not destroy the environment. 50 years to come, the world will be very different. So you have an insight into the future. No. It's something we don't. Go back 100 years.
Yeah.
Look where we are today. There are people are coming up with cars that can at least hover on the ground. You see, buildings that were not there 100 years now, they're going like over 100 feet, 100 stories up. So it's just a matter of understanding that things will change, technology will grow. We just have to now think of what you can be able to do to put to as a how can you as the positive things rise, we have to also think of how we're going to reduce the negative.
Okay. Before we go on break, let's have a quick one. Who think the proposers actually had a better argument? The argument that the argument that technological advancement should be prioritized no matter what. Or do you think that argument flies? Yes or no? Quickly.
Yes, I think they had a better argument.
And the rest flows with Ngara? That...
Who's Ngara? Yeah? Who felt, okay, that's clear. Boru?
No, I'll go with Effie on this one.
Okay, Ron?
I totally agree on Effie on this one.
Okay, very well. So we'll go for a short break. Please stay tuned and follow the conversation on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. I'll be back.
As the world applied scientific knowledge in industry, it discovers ways of having vaccines, ways of curing people. Yes, there might be a rise in cancer cases, But how are we going to counter these cancer cases? By making chemotherapies more available to the normal people.
This technology has brought about genetically engineered crops. These crops, we feed on them. First, they lower soil fertility. Second of all, we have high chances of getting cancer. You'll die, just like my parents. You didn't die because of fate, because of hope, because of destiny, nature, whatever you call it. This is brought by technology.
Welcome back to GDC Connect Edition. Thank you for staying tuned. Today we're discussing all matters technology. I am Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Yumbok. Okay, in terms of technology, I find it a bit difficult in the 21st century to lack an object such as a phone, a tablet, a computer, and sometimes I feel very dependent on them. Like if I go somewhere I don't have my phone, I feel like I will not be productive to the highest level. What's your take on that? Do you feel that we're actually becoming dependent on these technological gadgets, or maybe we're just becoming lazy?
Here comes technology, and out the other door goes integrity, goes hard work, and all the morals that our forefathers, or rather grandparents, tried to instill in us or in our parents.
But
And
our forefathers and our
shots
grandparents
fired.
didn't have
Shots
iPhones,
fired,
iPads, Google.
You know, that's not the problem we're talking about. You have technology, and now you're using it to cut corners and find shortcuts. Shortcuts catch up to you.
But don't they take you to the destination faster?
If you're willing to lose everything, and I mean everything that you hold dear to yourself, for that, then I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Technology is a tool. And when you're given a tool, it's you who decides how to use the tool. Even before the iPhones and the iPads and the Samsung phones, they still copied. They had more Kenyas. And they're even easier to do. It was even easier to copy with more Kenyas. So, in my opinion, maybe the phones have made copying even harder, to be honest with you. So, yeah, technology is really, really important. Without technology, you'll be less productive. Really, you won't be productive at all. To make a phone call to your mom, you'll have to walk like 10 kilometers to a telephone booth. Like,
Simu ya jamii.
Simu ya jamii. And still upange line. That's horrible. So yeah, we need technology.
Okay, Boru, do you think Effie said something interesting? She can't survive without her phone. Personally, are you that dependent on technology? Do you agree with what they've said on how you use your technology? You know, whether you're using it to advance your educational career? So in very light terms.
If you put it that way.
Yeah.
Advance your...
Or are other users?
Well, personally, that's my secret. If I use the phone, I don't want to be discontinued on television. That's my secret. But on day-to-day living, a phone is very important. You know, it depends on what you do. Personally, I have when I'm doing business with people, when I need emails, communication. Those days of sending letter, the letters, post office, fax, those days are long gone. So you see the constant.
I'd literally forgotten that those fax,
by the way, actually these days it's now getting out of the system even. So you see the point of now, even like if I want to really see, I've missed like for example, Mariam. I want to talk to her and she's far away. Instead of writing a letter, I just get my phone, call her, call her on a date. I want to talk, see her.
Okay. Do not share Mariam's
Just
number.
appears me. I want letters. Let me move the conversation a bit. Okay, let me move from now phones. Let's talk serious technology now and like the real effects. How about things like we're moving to a world where we might possibly have driverless cars in the next few years? We have drones flying over us. Amazon wants to start delivering goods using drones. We're cloning sheep. What about these big technological advancements? What do you think they're doing for us? Do you think we're better off with them? Or we've reached a point where, you know what, it's okay. We can chill on the technology. We've done enough. Or should we just continue advancing like this in this direction?
I think we should advance, but with a certain limitation.
Now, who's limiting? Who's in charge of regulating that? That creates another chain reaction. What do you think?
It's upon ourselves. You see, There's this quote: "The necessity is the mother of invention." You see, what you have today, tomorrow you'll want something better, and that's how it's going to be always. Or it's going to change and change and change. Just as I had said 100 years ago, today it's going to, things are going to change. So if today I have this car, I'm so wealthy. Let's take an example. I'm a very wealthy man. I have everything I want. Today I have this vehicle that can drive itself. Then tomorrow I wake up, I say, no, let me see what the money that's in my wallet how far can it take me? You see, it's all about your own personal opinion and how far it's going to take you. That's now the self-conscious comes in. Because you see, about cloning sheep, if people are not careful, we'll end up even cloning ourselves. Because of the need of, wanting to discover and all. That's now, it's a bit dangerous. So it's all about self-opinion, self-conscious, and if you really care about the society.
But technology's sake, what do you think about that?
Wow. Okay. Technology can take us really far. You say like cloning human beings will be immoral, but the day you'll need a kidney or a heart or a liver, you'll wish that scientists are cloning organs. Mm-hmm. So technology, wow, that thing, it's amazing. Imagine a world where you can travel to another planet in seconds. Human beings, we were built to advance. We want to go far. We can't stay stagnant at one location and smile and be happy. It's impossible.
Smile and wave.
We cannot smile away when you're still using firewood and charcoal and walking 50 miles instead of using a vehicle. We need technology. We need this advancement to survive, to have a better future. Maybe someone will come up with technology that will enable you to live forever in another planet. Wow,
okay.
That would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. Austin, look at where we are right now. We push the envelope and say that it's our responsibility to put checks on it. We've also heard that if we could also clone people. Those are people.
Organs.
Okay,
organs.
Okay, organs for now. Tomorrow you'll need to live a longer life. Maybe substitute your life, transfer your soul into another being.
That would be incredible.
Okay. That is a crazy.
You see?
I would love that.
Transport your soul to another being. Yeah. Wow.
He's also pushing the envelope, and it's still our responsibility to put checks on that. What checks are there? I'm not seeing any checks.
Yeah, exactly.
There shouldn't be checks.
Who will be regulating technological advancement? Is there a body that says, okay, tumefika hapa, this is where we are. We should remain here for a while. If there's a problem, let us move forward. Is there a body that does that?
Yes, there is. It's called the church.
Hold up.
You know why
the church regulates technology?
You know why human beings are not being cloned?
Because the church refused?
It refused.
Now the church has
legal... why
contraception is
denied among many Catholics. You know why? Contraception that's new technology.
No, Ron, you're looking at technology at another perspective. The church will not be able to control all that. You're looking at the immorality perspective.
Yeah.
But technology has a wider view.
And that one which is not immoral, that one should never be regulated, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So who classified? What's moral? Yes, we still go back to where does the burden of ensuring that this is moral, this is not, this is where technology should reach for 2016, this is not. You understand? Like the way a school gives you a calendar, we'll offer these units for this semester, nothing more, nothing less. You understand?
Yeah.
So who's going to do that? We're proposing, okay, let's move forward, but who's going to drive the car?
We'll know that as we move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we hit a car, we know, okay, this is where we hit a car, let's put a roadblock.
Unknown to many people, the Catholic Church has many scientists and engineers. For example, my priest is actually an engineer. Yeah. And these guys go around doing research, etc.
Right.
So there is a regulating body. There is.
So, okay. To cap it off, you propose that the church is the regulating body, and basically it's open to debate. We've not exhausted it as much because technology is arbitrary, as in it's based on you. Should I do this? What is more beneficial? What is not? It's your choice to make. So to your viewers, what's your opinion? Do you think that there should be a body to regulate technology? Do you think the church is the body? Or what do you perceive should be the yardstick that defines what is technological advancement. I am Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Continue to watch us on more GDC Connect Edition episodes and keep the conversation online on Twitter at Great Debaters EA and all our respective handles. See you next time.